Hi, this is Chef Robert, and today I'm making beef and cheddar calzones. And this is your list of ingredients for the beef stuffing. About 2 pounds of ground lean beef, 2 cups of crushed tomatoes, 3 tablespoons of minced fresh garlic, and 1 cup of diced yellow onion, and whole butter, of course. I love using butter, great flavor. So first thing we're going to do is get the pan hot and melt some butter into it. And we're going to put our garlic in first. And we're going to brown the garlic a little bit. I love to brown the garlic just a little bit. It gives it kind of a nutty flavor. It's not quite as pungent if you cook it a little bit. So you put your garlic in with the butter and then a little coat of salt. And stir it and let it brown a little bit. Then we're going to add our onions, and the onions are going to take probably 5 to 8 minutes to get them cooked to the point where they're translucent and kind of a little brown. So that'll take you 5, 8, maybe 10 minutes. Then when you get the onions to the point that we're looking for right here, little wilted and a little brown, then we're going to add the ground beef to it. And you're going to have to chop the beef up. You're going to have to keep chopping it into little pieces while it's cooking, because you don't want huge chunks in there. Mix it up with your onions and garlic and just keep mixing and stirring and cooking. It's probably going to take a good easy 10 minutes, maybe 15, to get it fully cooked. And then when we do get it fully cooked and we meat well done, we're going to add diced tomatoes into it at that point. And then we're going to cook it for probably about another 10 minutes. But you want to mix this in really well and incorporate your all your ingredients together, and just let it cook on a high heat, actually, for probably close to 10 minutes after you get it all mixed, once it comes to a boil. Then when it's done boiling and the meat's completely cooked, you're going to strain the juice and set it aside until you go to build your calzones. Just set it aside till you need it. Now we're going to make the bread dough. And this is a real simple recipe here for this bread dough. This is your list of ingredients. You're going to use 4 cups of self-rising flour, 1/4 of a cup of extra virgin olive oil, tablespoon of dry active yeast, tablespoon of sugar, 1.5 cups of warm water. You're going to mix that really well and let it sit for 5-10 minutes to activate the yeast. And then we're going to start our bread dough. We're going to use a dough hook. I like to put the yeast, sugar, and flour in first, and then the yeast, sugar, and water first, and then the flour, and we'll mix that a little bit. And then we'll put in the 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, and we'll mix that really well. You want to put it on a number 1 speed, and when you're making bread doughs, you don't want to go above a number 2 speed. It'll stress out the engine. Now we're going to add 2 eggs to it, and when the 2 eggs are in, we're going to mix it again for probably another 5-10 minutes on a number 1 speed, and then number 2 at the highest. And it shouldn't take any more than another 5 minutes to get your dough to the point you need it to be. So it's there right now. It's pulling away from the sides of the bowl, so that's a good dough. So now you take your dough out and put it in a bowl and cover the bowl with plastic and let it rise for about an hour. Now we're going to put together our calzones. You got your bread dough, your beef mixture, and cheddar cheese. So we're going to get about 7 portions out of this batch of dough. Good 4-ounce size ball. So you're going to put that ball on the cutting board with a lot of flour, and you're going to roll it out to probably about 4 inches on each side around. You want a pretty good size dough for your calzone, because you're going to put your ingredients in the center, and then you're going to fold it over and crimp the sides together with a fork. So I'm going to put the beef, onion, garlic, and tomato mixture in, and then some cheddar cheese on top, and then fold it over, and then I'll crimp the edges to make sure that the dough is stuck together so it doesn't come apart when you're baking it in the oven. And then after you get the dough crimped and get them all made and put them on sheet trays with parchment paper, you're going to put them in a preheated oven at 375 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. And when they're